So with BT-6 being delayed, I figured it'd be fun to show off a really fan favorite of mine right now, AncientTroymon, and I got a great opponent for you today. We're taking on the King Honcho himself of Red, Jesmon. Let's see if AncientTroymon can keep Jesmon at bay the whole time, and let's see who can win it. So guys, without further ado, let's dive right into this video. So we're going to be playing AncientTroymon versus the great and powerful Jesmon. I learned that out after we roll. He rolls a solid 5. I get a 9. So I'll draw my opening hand. I get a solidly great opening hand, to be honest with you. Only 2 rookies, a champion, a mega, and a Mimi. That's fine. He flips up Bitomon, the baby that gives your, if your Digimon has Pierce, it gains extra power. Then he digivolves into Agumon, and then he decides to digivolve into Greymon. I draw for turn. I got 2 Terriermons in my hand and a Bakumon. So Bakumon is a really great card. I'll explain later when I combo with it. So I flip up an Agumon and digivolve into Terriermon. Nothing crazy here. So I end up popping down. Then I digivolve into Kabuterimon for my Terriermon to get a second Mimi. So if I can get all these Mimis going off at once, it's going to be really scary. So I slap down Mimi to guarantee me 3 memory a turn, because it's really good to gain that kind of memory early on. Especially it'll give us a great advantage going in the future of the game. So he ends up drawing for turn, which is really solid. Then he thinks about what he wants to do. He's debating on promoting up the Greymon stack. Waits for a good couple seconds, which is not bad in my opinion. I give him some time to think. There's no rush. We're just having fun. So he ends up playing Hakmon. Hakmon, if other people like that pronunciation. He reveals the top 5 cards looking for Jesmon and a Sistermon, if I remember correctly. So it's top 5. Look for a Hakmon, Jesmon, and a Sistermon. So he ends up taking 2 Hakmon, Savior Hakmons. So now he's pretty set going forwards, which is fine by me. Whatever he does here, we're gonna have a good response to. So let's see what he does here. At 0, he ends up playing Sistermon Blanc. Blanc lets him draw a card on play, and then he gains blocker because there is a Hakmon or a Jesmon or a Royal Knight on board. So I play Bakumon and digivolve into a blocker to hopefully choke him out for 1 more, because our hand's not the best at the moment. I'm still looking for an ultimate at this point, but if we can block a few of his attacks, I can gain an extra couple memory because I blocked, which is super important as long as my Digimon survives that swing. Major things that I noticed is he's playing a little bit slower than I expected, especially since it is an OTK deck and I only got 2 blockers out, so he has to learn how to play around me, which is fine. Just excited because if I can get the Mimi's combo going, I can get out a whole field with nothing but good resources. So he ends up digivolving into Savior Hakmon in the raising area, which would guarantee passing me to 3, which is fine by me. Savior has a good Digi-Evolution skill, but sadly doesn't have access to it. So we hatch. It is another Argomon. So we digivolve into Terriermon, draw me a card. Decide to digivolve into Ridemyavatar, hopefully digging in for a Digimon we can use. Ended up not getting anything crazy, so I end up just playing Mimi just so I can get double Mimi once I get to an ultimate, and hopefully soon we get to one. Then I can just steamroll over him really quickly. So he's only got 2 memory. It's going to cost him to play everything he wants, but hopefully we get there. So a Mega Evolution is not going to win him anything in this race. We could definitely swing in with a Hakmon or the Sistermon Blanc, but he ends up promoting that stack up finally out of raising area. So if I lose this, any of these stacks are both going to gain some sort of memory output in some way or another. So he ends up playing Judgment of the Blade to make his Huckmon be able to attack one of our unsuspended Digimon for 1 memory. He's going to choose the bigger stack, which he doesn't have Pierce, thankfully, which would have been a problem if he had Pierce. So we get 1 more turn to buy us if we can get to our ultimate. I need a top deck and ultimate here, boys and girls. It's super clutch and very important. So just paying attention real quick. He ends up playing the Agumon Bonds of Friendship. I draw, I get the ultimate finally. So I promote up. I Digivolve. Draw me a card. There we go. I go to 1. Then I rest the Mimi, even though it doesn't have any targets for me to Digivolve into. Just very good to get the Mimi going. So I'm debating on going into Finalizing, which I go for it. So I give him 2 to make sure that if his Jesmon decides to swing, he can't take me out. But now I have my whole setup going now. I'm going to steamroll the daylights out of him. He flips up a Bebidomon. Again, Digivolving into Agumon from the 1000 DP, which is fine. He also has the Agumon on board that lets him do something with his Bonds of Courage Agumon, but nothing will be warping at the moment, so I'm quite happy with that. And then he's got Savior Huckmon, Sistermon Blanc, and Huckmon out on the battlefield. He Digivolves that into a Greymon to help him get some more draw advantage going, but my hand's just a ticking time bomb at this point, which is good for me. I can really do some major damage here. Then he Digivolves into a Rise Greymon, giving me 3. Now I draw for turn. I hit a Blossomon on top of this, so this is going to be really devastating real quick. I'm going to unsuspend my Mimi, draw off the Palmon Evolve. I'm going to Digiburst 2 cards out of my lovely Finalizing. I'm going to Digiburst the Terriermon and the Weedmon. I'll go to 4 memory, and Savior Huckmon will now be not able to attack me because that is the bigger threat. If he gets a Jesmon out, I will have issues. So I go to 4 for the Weedmon, Digivolve into Weedmon, draw me a card. I'm going to rest that Mimi finally. Now Weedmon is perfect where I need him. So draw, I get a Hidden Potential Discover, which is a very important at this point. So I'm gonna rest the other Mimi now to hatch, just in case we hit something nice. Got the Argomon and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna hope for is Hidden Potential Discover 3. It's going to go to something else. I was like on the fence of what to Digivolve into. So I go back into another Finalizing, which is okay with me because I want to let my opponent not know I'm on AncientTroymon just yet. So draw me a card. I'm just trying to dig. I'm going to try to prevent more attacks going off. So I go for the Weedmon and then a Palmon out of here. So, nope, I did rid of the Blossomon and the Weedmon, actually. I think about it. Palmon stays, and then Rafflesia preventing the Rise Greymon from swinging, so he can't do anything with Savior Huckmon or Rise Greymon for the turn, so that's going to help out a lot. And my board just got way big. So I did it right, and I made the misplay because I could just remove those 2 off the board state just because I do have Volderarm in my hand. And I should have just went for the Agumon and the other one, but that's fine. We do Hidden Potential, go right into Volderarm, blowing up both of their Digimon, drawing me a card. I blow up the Blanc, and then I blow up the Agumon. I could have got rid of both of those big threats, but since they can't really hit me right now, I am fine. I am whopping 17. So Jesmon is not doing anything here. I'm at 3. Like debating, since he can't really touch me right now besides an Agumon swing. I'm going to slam down the Mimi, just so if I can get going even further and snowball off, I can just really deal some major damage, because 3 Mimi on board means I have nothing but an aggro attack coming. Because I can make my champions swing it. My ultimate stack just guarantees me to have a great line of offense. Just one ultimate stack with 3 Mimi on board. That means at least guaranteed 2 rookies coming out. It digivolves into Biohawkmon, I think, if I remember. So it's the champion stage of Hawkmon. Then he plays down Sistermon Blanc, passing me the turn so he can get a blocker on board state, which is okay with me. I don't mind. I'm going to gain a bunch of memory off of this, so I gain 2 memory, which is very critical here. So I go to 5. Let's see. I don't have a baby yet, which kind of makes it a little rough. But I can definitely do a lot of things here. I end up digibursting the last 2 to prevent the blocker from swinging at me. So 1, 2. Get rid of that blocker's block ability. So now I got 3 attacks on board state, which is fine. I digivolve up into Reflezimon. Draw me a card. Here's a Woodmon. I am just 1 baby away from just steamrolling off here. I just need a couple. So I end up swinging in with Boulder Arm at a whopping 16. That Agumon ain't gonna do anything in this situation. Swinging with the Reflezimon, that is at 13, killing off the Greymon. Debating just to digivolve up, which I decide to. Digivolve into Reflezimon. No, Lilamon. I get a Bokomon. Digi draw. So I think about this real quick. I'm going to rest the Mimi, promote up. So now we have 4 attacks on board. I digivolve right up in that. Then I get a Lilamon. So I rest the Mimi again, hatch. And then we go for that Lilamon play here. Since he needs to get rid of everything, I have a good shot at this. So I digivolve Argomon into Lila, draw me a card. I'm going to go to 0. Forgot the evolution. Swing in with Lilamon. Swing in for that beautiful 9k. So he gets his Tai Kamiya. I promote my Lalamon up. Lalamon swings into that security stack. Can't block because I did Rafflesia. Next turn. So 1. Tai Kamiya comes out, and then we swing in with the Kabuterimon for game 1's finish. I think that's pretty amazing for game 1. What do you guys think? Such a very powerful green deck. Game 2, Jesmon versus Reflezimon. So I will go second. He's taking the first lead. I get 5 cards in security. He's going to go first. Good luck. Have fun. Draw my top 5. So my hand is not the best right now. It's definitely a rookie style rush type hand, which is not bad at all. He flips up Bebitomon, digivolves into Agumon, and then goes for that Greymon play, really putting me in a clock right now. I'm going to hatch. I'm going to digivolve my Argomon into Lalamon to draw me a card. I get an AncientTroymon off of that evolution, and then I play Mimi down to guarantee me some nice, fun, gaining some memory situation. So Mimi will give him 2. He's got the Babytomon. He draws return, which is fine. He's debating on bringing Greymon up, but it looks like he's going to keep it in the raising area for now, which is fine by me if he does that. He ends up playing his Tai Kamiya to guarantee him future memory if I start choking him, which is crazy smart play. I'm going to promote my Lalamon up. Lala Digivolves into a Weedmon for that 1 cost, drawing me a card so we can Digiburst it out later. So then I'm debating. I just slammed down a Terriermon to help choke him out. So if he does any shenanigans with his Sistermons, I can shut down them. So it's really nice. He promotes his Greymon up. He gains a 2nd memory off the tie, which I completely forgot that it counts as Greymon. I thought it was only Agumons, which is very interesting. So he's at 2 now. I'm okay with that. This Greymon's going to be a real pain in the rear if I don't get rid of it soon. Luckily, I go to 3 every turn. So I'm like debating if I don't get an ultimate soon enough in the next couple draws, just slamming down an AncientTroymon, because if I can stop him from swinging multiple attacks on me, it'll be really useful. So he's debating on what to do. He plays down Biohawkmon. He gives me 3. That's a champion for him on a hard cast. So nothing happens. All its inheritables is what I have to worry about. So I draw, get a 3rd AncientTroymon. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be getting out of this anytime soon. So draw me a card. Get a Reflegiumon. I am mega heavy at this moment. And I'm like, at this point, we need to slam down AncientTroymon. So I slam it down, give him 10, which in normal circumstances, you do not do that. But luckily, if he doesn't have his Blade of Truce and anything else, I can definitely take care of whatever he brings out at me, which is good for me, bad for him. AncientTroymon will rest a bunch of stuff, and I'm excited for that. So every time he swings with a Digimon, it rests Digimon in response, which I can rest a full board if he goes crazy. So I'm expecting him to go into Jesmon this turn, which who wouldn't? So he flips up Babytomon, Digivolves into Agumon to start digging deeper for combo pieces. Then Digivolves, he debates on it. He Digivolves into Greymon in the raising area. He goes from 10 to 8. But what's really nice is I have Mimi on board where I can now control the board state how I like. Especially having that spicy flower cannon in my hand is just really going to help out later. He Digivolves into Savior Huckmon. Go to 5. Draw himself a card. Plays down Sistermon. Terriermon says can't gain any memory. I just want to make sure that he doesn't. So he has to get rid of the Terriermon first, which he forgot about. The Terriermon was on board. So his Blanc is not, aka Nor. He's playing Nor in his deck, but it's Blanc in our format. So Blanc and Nor are the exact same card, just religious reasons. Digivolves into Jesmon for 3. So you play another Sistermon in its name from hand or trash without paying its memory cost. He goes from 5 to 2, which is okay. Can't really stop that. So Jesmon's gonna come at me full swing. So just have to double check. Biohawkmon says if you have a Sistermon, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 or less DP. It just instantly deletes my Terriermon. Skill. I end up resting the Greymon and then the Sistermon Nor. Security check is a Reflegiumon. He is way bigger, if I remember correctly. When you play another Digimon this turn, this Digimon gets plus 3000 DP and Pierce. He's playing another Nor at the top. So he gains 1 memory, so it does trigger. I wish he would have mentioned that. So he's gonna restand his Jesmon, which even past this, he should have mentioned that he's restanding it. But really tough. Save your Hawkmon at the last minute. If you have a Digimon with Sistermon in play, once per turn, unsuspend this Digimon. But it's fine. I will take a couple hits from this. I don't mind. He Digivolves into Rise Greymon in the back. Goes to 0. Yeah, if it was AncientTroymon, I would have just rested his Greymon and Jesmon, which is fine, but wish I knew. I can easily just shut down a lot of things with AncientTroymon. Let's see what he's going to try to do. Any swing he does now instantly guarantees me that I can rest without a blocker. So if he doesn't have Nor out, we're fine. He Digivolves into Savior Hawkmon for some reason. So I gain 3. I draw a card. We hit a Blossomon out of that deal, and we're ready, boys and girls. I'm going to promote my Argomon into our Argomon Bakumon line up. I draw. I rest the Mimi for the Terriermon draw. So I'm at 3. I'm going to Digizorption my little guy into Blossomon, draw me a card. I get Hidden Potential Discover out of this deal. We're in the right frame of mind, boys and girls. I Digivolve into Rafflesiamon to go to 0, draw me a card. I pick up a Boncho, which kind of wish I got earlier. I'm going to Digiburst the Lullamon out and the Weedmon. So now my board gets a little extra beefy, and Jesmon can't swing anymore, which is fine by me, which we want that. So I'm going to rotate right. I'm going to swing into the Savior Hawkmon for 13 big ones. And I'm going to swing AncientTroymon into a Sistermon. Get rid of it. Now shutting off his Jesmon is just so clutch. So Weedmon goes to drop, and then Lullamon comes to my hand. I do gain 1 memory out of that deal. So let's see. I'm just rearranging my board real quick. And I'm debating, do I just give it to him or do I not? I ended up just saying choking him at 1 is just a better play all around. I think just resting out his Sistermon is just a better play. It doesn't matter. It just chokes him at 1. So it'll be his turn. He's just going to unsuspend everything anyway. And then draw for turn. Jesmon can't touch me right now. And if he tries to Digivolve up into with his Rise Greymon, it'll only give him 1 memory and it'll pass turn to me. And then I can play the game of you can't touch this. And then I can rest his whole board if he swings in with that beautiful Rise Greymon. But I don't think he goes for that play here. He's going to Digiburst 2. Guarantee him going to 3 from now on with that beautiful Tai Kamiya. So he's going to really waste some resources just preventing me from hitting him. So let's see. What is he gonna do here, boys and girls? Let's see what this champ's got for me. So he can't swing in with his Jesmon, which I shut him down with Rafflesia. That makes my life 10 times easier. His Tai ain't gonna do anything extra security damage wise. His Rise Greymon can definitely hit for a couple swings if he wanted to, but I'm just gonna rest out the Jesmon and the Sistermon if he does that. Which I'm a very happy camper if I can do that. Jesmon can't attack. So he's debating on what to put down, because I can't shut down the blocker afterwards. So I have to get rid of Blanc as soon as possible. He swings in for 2 security. I rest those 2, which makes my life easier. So security check 1, a Nidhogg on the unfortunate Rise Greymon. So my security is a little more beefier than he's expecting. So he ends up playing Sistermon Blanc. Now he has a blocker on board, which fine by me. I draw. Going to need to remember there is a unsuspend button. If you ever see me play against me or anything like that, tell me there's an unsuspend button and just let me hit that, because I forget that all the time. Promote the Terriermon up. So I'm gonna rest the Mimi to hatch, to digivolve in Argomon into Lullamon. Lullamon is just such a great card here, just because we can digiverse multiple times with it. I'm gonna digivolve Lullamon into Weedmon just to keep a nice little protective barrier going forwards. And I forgot about the Argomon unresting itself for an extra 1, 2. I can't swing. And I think I also forgot, I'm at 13 here. I forgot an extra memory. That is my fault. And if I didn't do this wrong swing, I would have kept Rafflesia on board, but it's fine. So he's at 13 right now by himself. So it's a nice solid trade. Should have went to 5 because there is an Argomon underneath the Akamon. That's fine. We're doing Gucci here. What's nice is I can do a lot with what's going on right now. AncientTroymon takes out his other Sistermon, because now he has to restart everything. I'm in a good spot here. Debating on what to do here, I think I slammed down another Mimi just to get balls rolling. So then I rest the Mimi to promote my Weedmon up, just so the next following turn will be really solid and really good. I don't have any blockers on board, which is funny because AncientTroymon's just doing all the work. And then we go to 4 for him. He gets his beautiful Mimi. I get 3 Mimis out of this deal, and now my opponent is struggling. So that's like the big play here, is him struggling. He flips up another Bibitomon, Digifalls into the Agumon, that gives 1000 DP. He's got tie and tie out. Digivolves into a Greymon, going to 2, drawing himself a card. He's now got to dig himself out. I can start slowly just taking everything out that he loves and cherishes so much in this game. So Sistermon Blanc is Sistermon Blanc at the end of the day. I gotta get rid of it. But if I can play my cards right, I can get multiple attacks in. Got the 3 Mimi OTK going on. So we're gonna just punish our opponent hard. So he's got to debate what he wants to do here. I don't have any way of unresting any of my stuff. He plays Huckmon down, going to 1, and I'll go to 3. So he reveals the top 5 cards of his deck. He's got a Agumon. He gets 1 Jesmon, a second Jesmon, so he can grab 2 Jesmons out of this deal. And both Jesmons will go to his hand. Which, oh boy. It's ridiculous what he's doing here. I'll go to 3 because Mimi is on board. I love my Mimi. And then I have AncientTroymon. AncientTroymon put in the work, boys. I'm gonna hatch for hatch step. Doesn't matter in the slightest what happens here. I don't have any other way of getting any more advantage. Draw for turn. Sadly, I can't make more babies. So we're gonna digivolve into Lilamon, not Lullamon. So Lilamon will help us out here because I want to keep him off his blockers as best as possible, and this is the best way of doing it. So I'm gonna rest his Sistermon just so that if he tries to do anything crazy, I can just take care of it. So I gained 1 memory off the Weedmon Digiburst, which is okay with me. So I swing into that beautiful security stack. A Sistermon Blanc comes out. Debating on what to do here. I swing into security. Nothing too crazy. He's got it. He's got it. And it looks like Huckmon is big enough to take out my little Buckmon. So I couldn't gain extra memory because that wasn't Argomon. That was a Minimon. I swing the Mimi, rest, promote up. I have 3 more attacks on board state if I wanted to. But I'm debating on just getting rid of the Sistermon Blanc because the blocker is going to punish us a little bit too much to my liking. So I debate, and I think I go with Hidden Potential Discover, and then AncientTroymon here. So Hidden Potential Discover, rest my Terriermon so that I can gain more memory the following turn. Doesn't cost me anything because Hidden Potential Discover just gives it for me for free. Then I go 1 blocker, draw me a card, got a Flower Cannon. Then I'm like, that Blanc is going to be a pain in the butt later, so I'm going to rest with Lilamon because I do have Mimi out. AncientTroymon's going to swing into Sistermon Blanc. Get rid of the Blanc. So now if he does anything crazy, I don't have to worry about it too much. Then I decide to Digizorb, I think. Or I decide to give him 3 memory all in general. I just go right for another Lilamon out of the deal. He goes to 3. He's got to have another combo of Sistermons to be able to go off. Because I shut down his Jesmon completely at this point. He goes to 4. Which is okay with me because going to 4 and drawing a card is never terrible. He's got Jesmon in his hand, but my board state just says I have this. 1 swing shuts down anything he's trying to plan here, which I'm okay with. Let's see what he can do to out this board. Really powerful control deck shuts down very aggro deck because AncientTroymon just slows them down too much and they can't really stop it. So he goes into Savior Huckmon to hopefully get a Sistermon out of the deal. And he draws a card. And then he's thinking. Got a blocker on board. He gets a blocker Sistermon Blanc out, which can be a big problem later. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks on board, 1 blocker. We're pretty solid at this point. But yeah, his Sistermon does have block, and that's a problem. So we'll see what happens here. I can't rest the Sistermon anyway at the moment. Oh, he digivolves into his blocker to help try to get a multiple blockers out in 1 turn, which could definitely save him long game. But we'll see what happens here. Then he goes for that Agumon play, playing down his beautiful Agumon that lets him combo off with Bonds of Friendship. So he's going to bring me to 3. I'm going to draw for turn. And looky, I have my out for the game. So Agumon goes off. Both of my Terriermon, Agumon go off. AncientTroymons go off. I swing into security stack for a solid 13 just in case. Rise Greymon appears. I'm going to swing in. I'm going to rest the Blanc because of Lilamon's skill. Greymon gets blown up. And I swing in with... I end up doing a Flower Cannon just in case. So I go to 3. I swing in with Terriermon. If it dies, it doesn't matter. A blocker shows up. Then I decide to go into Arbormon, and just swing in for game. Good games for that Jesmon player. this shows off the power of AncientTroymon. It's just a really good game. Guys, remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!